Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins with my buddy Dean. How are you today?
What's up?
I want to start by asking a simple question. I'm going to go first for a little bit, then the Dean will go. And that is, if you were coming to the end of your life and it was a life well lived, a life you were really proud of, a life that felt magnificent, what would matter you more? Making a massive amount of money or having a massive impact on the quality of people's lives all around you in your life? And when I ask that question, I got to tell you, my answer is why pick between the two? The two of us have had this privilege of being in this knowledge business as it grew from its infancy to now where it's really literally exploding. And we've had the opportunity to do something that we both enjoy because it's meaningful. I mean, you could sell widgets all day long, but when you can help somebody change the quality of their life because you busted your tail and you got some insights in how you run a business or how you write software or how you cut hair, how you do anything, any kind of specialized knowledge that you can share with people that can make the quality of their life or their business better is pretty damn exciting. Let me just say that what excites me about this and the reason we put this project together is there is a power that changes people's lives that most people just aren't aware of, the majority of the population. I always say that our lives are changed by invisible forces, and it sounds kind of corny, but if you think about it, the things that shape you the most are things like radiation, too little you're dead, too much you're dead, gravity, human emotion, love and hate probably shape you more than anything else, and they're invisible forces. Electricity, right? That's why we're able to have this conversation with you. But I believe one of the most powerful invisible forces, one of the most powerful forces on earth that's changed our lives, and the purpose of this conversation is understanding the power of self-education. See, I was a kid in a really rough environment. I had 4 different fathers. We were poor as can be. We had no food. Some of you know I feed 100 million meals a year for the last 5 years. I'm going to feed 1 billion people over the next 5 through Feeding America. And it's not because I'm such a good person. It's because I suffered so much, and I didn't want other people to suffer. And so, as I looked at my life way back then, I didn't have the tool to say, here's the pathway to go. There was no one to educate me. There were no mentors. There were no coaches in those days. There was only therapists. And so I looked around and I started reading, and I absorbed books. That was my way to get out of that environment, and I was able to get this specialized knowledge there. But what really shifted me completely was when I really started to go to seminars, and I started listening to audio programs. And in those days, 6 cassettes cost $300 with 6 little workbooks, and I would save up my money as a janitor to try to figure out how I could go get this knowledge because I wanted to change my life, and I was so driven to want to change other people's lives. But that basic fundamental skill that we're going to show you how to expand and turn into a business based on our, I've done for 42 years, he's done it for 20, so 60 plus years of experience, is we want to show you the shortcuts that if you don't even have a clue what knowledge you might have that can make a difference, show you how you can extract that. If you are a person that feels, I don't have that skill, there's somebody else out there that I really love, I want more people to know about him, like I did with my original teacher, Jim Rohn. You could become a knowledge broker, or you could become somebody that really just wants to understand what makes people the best at something, go interview all the best people and become a reporter of it, which will start to make you an expert. We want to show you the pathway that can happen, because for me and for Dean, it changed our lives in ways you couldn't imagine. We went from kids struggling who, I was supposed to be a truck driver. My mom kept having me watch these commercials, Truckmaster. Some of you old enough may remember that.
I remember it.
Truckmaster School, $29.95. You can learn to make $24,000 a year driving a truck. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with driving a truck if that's what you love, but I don't want to sit. I'm a go make things happen person. I didn't want that stuff. Fortunately, there was a pathway out. And today it's so much easier, but I wasn't aware of it. It was self-education. That took me from this kid who was desperate to figure out how to be able to have enough money to help feed his family and be part of that process to now traveling the world where I've had the chance to coach 5 U.S. presidents. I've worked with 4 royal families, some of the greatest athletes in the world, the greatest billionaire business people. I get to work with them. I get to talk to groups of 10 to 15,000 people. This year, I've got 3 50,000 person events to give you an idea of football stadiums. So I'm not saying at the end of this hour you're going to be doing that, but I want to show you how I started with literally nothing, and how Dean started with nothing, and how we entered a business that was really raw and hard in those days.
It wasn't cool at all.
Not cool, and very hard to do, and very expensive to how to do this. I mean, I can remember my first seminar, I put all my money, time, and energy in. I was giving it away. I rented the LA Hilton Hotel downtown. Cost me a fortune. I ran all these ads, not like today where you go to Facebook and find who you want. It was these wide ads hoping somebody'd see it. And I thought, no less than 500 people are going to show up. And 7 lonely souls showed up, and they're all late. And I was like, and they're spread around the room, and I pull them in the front row and just give it all to them. But we're going to show you how we went from that to now where I have 54 companies. We're doing over $6 billion in combined sales in all these industries. And where my core business of changing lives is still the most meaningful thing in my life and the most fulfilling. So I want to give you the insights of 40 years of experience and see if in this little 90-minute period, we can really stimulate you to see what's possible so that you could do something on the side that just provides a nice income for you that you love, or you could build it into something over time that's extraordinary. So thanks for joining us. And my only request is turn off your phones, turn off all the beeping from social media and so forth. Stay with us for this 90 minutes, and let's really go deep and figure out what we can do to take the next level. Here's my buddy, Dean.
Good to have you here. So here's the thing. What Tony's saying really summarized is the knowledge industry, the self-education industry, was something some people dabbled in when Tony started 42 years ago, when I started 20 plus years ago. But the world has shifted, and people are realizing that they would rather learn from a non-professional doer than a professional teacher. And I don't mean any disrespect to a teacher, but people are voting with their money, not just by what Tony and I are saying, with their money, because right now the knowledge industry is a $355 million a day industry, an industry that Tony helped originate. And I want to tell that story in a second here, but I want you to think what Forbes just said is that this industry by 2025 will be $1 billion a day. This is the launching pad. This is the time to get in. And what we're going to show you today is how would you like to get paid for a skill, a hobby, a passion, an expertise you have, even if you don't think you have one. Wouldn't that be amazing to help somebody impact their lives and get paid? But I know this sounds crazy, but before we're done today, you're going to realize if you don't have a skill, you just got out of college, you feel like you didn't do anything that would be impactful, all of that's going to change when you learn how Tony started and how I started and the path we created to be the reporter or the broker, which really means if you're watching right now and you're someone that wants overnight success, want to get rich in 2 minutes, you want a business in a box, that you don't want to do the work, you feel like you can get wealthy without doing much, this isn't for you. This is, if you want to stay for entertainment, that's great, but that's, if you know anything about Tony and I.
I don't know for that entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know for that entertaining. That's a really good one. But if that's what you're thinking, this isn't the spot. But if you're watching right now and you crave another level, if you are dying to start your own thing, your own business, your own company, you're going to want to watch. We have 60 plus years. This is such an amazing industry. Impact and profits. If you have your own business and you're in the middle someplace, decent profits, a lot of stress, this is perfect for you. And if you're crushing it and you're on a whole nother level and you're ready to go to the next, this is where you can make significance, impact, and help other people grow while you get paid for your knowledge. I want you to stay with us all the way to the end because we're going to paint the picture of something you probably never heard of. And here's the best part. Where is the biggest opportunity in anything in life? When was it like the Netflix compared to Blockbuster, the Uber compared to taxi, the internet compared to snail mail and not being connected? The biggest opportunity is when there's a big problem, a big, massive problem that needs to be solved. Yeah. And that problem is being solved through self-education. The education right now, traditional education is broken. We'll talk more about that later. You have the opportunity to fix that with our guidance. Together we can help impact the world while simultaneously you tap into a new revenue stream as it's taken off. And I just want to say one thing, Tony, talking about your story, and I don't want to go too much in my story. I want to get right to this so you understand here tonight. We know you're taking time to be with us right now all over the world. Some of you in the middle of the night, I saw they were setting their alarms to be with us, so thank you. But I want to tell you what got me in this industry before it was cool is because I watched a late night infomercial of Tony Robbins 25 years ago, and I gave a credit card, even though my father told me I was nuts. He told me, get a refund right now, get a refund. Literally, I got information and that information changed my life. He didn't send me a car. He didn't send, I paid hundreds of dollars. I got these CDs. I obsessed. You said if you're obsessive, you listen to them in a weekend. I have 4 days. I digested all of them within 10 days. I listened to them twice. And my life fundamentally shifted. 2 years later, I filmed my own infomercial because I saw the impact it had on me. I wanted to teach other people. That was 22 years ago. I've been on TV pretty much nonstop since then and touched the lives of millions of people around the world. I've done over $1 billion with my brand, educating people. Yes, I've done real estate. Yes, I've done 13 different companies. But the one that lights me up, the one that's truthfully generated me more revenue than anything else, was being in the knowledge business. But we started when it was hard. The world has changed. Instead of social media using you, tonight when you're done, you're like, holy crap, I can use social media to impact lives, get paid, and be a part of this evolution.
You look at the industry right now, Airbnb is another example because co-founder is one of my dear friends. And these guys started the same thing. They started not being able to pay their bills. And so they got these little blow up mats and said, let's rent our room for some people here. And to see that grow in 9 years, I mean, Hilton Hotels as an example has been around 99 years and their valuation is 20 billion. It's pretty amazing. And you look at my buddy at Airbnb and Joe Gebbia, his little company has been around 9 years and it's worth $32 billion.
It's amazing.
I mean, that's the world that we're in. So let me give you a 2-second background so you get a sense how I got in this, because sometimes you see, we're doing billions and that's way beyond me. And it is beyond you where you are right now, unless you're already, got momentum and you're going. But I want to let you know that this all started with me really shifting my belief.